Hello and welcome to episode 44 of the Isla Paradiso bunch. We've still got Hayley, Josephine, Judy, Jeannie, Sam, Dianna, Craig and Muriel. Today we're opening with Josephine, then we're moving on to Dianna and Craig. So Josephine's just got an adventure. Oh, where is my lost treasure? It seems I, Shadia Rashid, have misplaced the treasure I lawfully plundered from a nearby tomb. Preposterous! I'm in need of a good lad or lass with a strong back and a desire for adventure to enter that tomb and recover the unlucky relic of King Hajub. I would pay simoleons and ancient coins for your efforts. So Josephine sets off for the tomb to recover the unlucky relic of King Hajub. Now this particular tomb I happen to know, and you could see by going into map view and see the gold star, that tomb is under the market. So she is travelling through the town from the base camp to the market. And here she has arrived at the market, but the treasure isn't under this part of the market. She's got to find the actual entrance. So she might as well wander around and waste a bit of time and chat to the snake charmer in the corner. But the entrance is in that building in the middle of the screen right now, just near the palm tree on the left. Now she can find her own way there easily enough, so I'll just click down into the tomb somewhere and she will go straight to it. The routing to this particular tomb doesn't seem to be broken yet. There's a bit of music going. I think there's a music box playing in one of the market stores. Might be the bookshop, I think. A great place to have loud music. So she needs to go down those steps that are right at the top of the screen now. At the very top of the screen you can see the tiny little swimming pool that they're all swimming in. It comes down to the basement levels as well. But she's going to walk along that hallway and down the steps at the end of the hallway. You can see the treasure chest she needs. It's got sparkly things coming out of it. That is where she'll find the treasure she's looking for. Doesn't seem to be anybody in the swimming pool at the moment. That's unusual. She can go open up that treasure chest and collect the treasure. I think she should get the relic that she's after and some money, a money bag. Now before she actually delivers that treasure, or the relic, I'm going to get her to look for another treasure chest, that one there. She can go and open that up. Now, as they come back to further visits to Egypt, sometimes as these treasure chests get replenished with treasures and other times they don't. Now this is one that I think doesn't get replenished, but it's worth checking anyway. She's found the moonstone keystone, which she can use immediately in that key slot right there. It's the hole for the moonstone key, and she'll open up that door that's right next to it. She's only going to find treasure, so if you're only interested in other things, you're not at all interested in finding treasure, well then there's no need to bother with this. But if you're wanting treasure, you can usually find something in that particular treasure chest each time they come to Egypt. This time she's got a canopic jar. That one is a little pharaoh canopic jar, which is a part of the canopic jars collection. And now that she's found the artifact or the relic, she can go and report in to Shahid Rashid, who is the Sim who asked her to go and retrieve it for her. This Rashid house is actually just across the road from the market, and it's also the house that Muriel had to go to when she needed to disarm the traps in the trapped basement. Luckily she didn't have to knock on the door. So that is complete. She got some visa points and some simoleons for that little adventure. There's a few of those little adventures, and that particular one I think is repeatable, and it means it can pop up at any time. Once you've had it, you could actually get it again several times. So I thought I'd get her to go and catch some wildlife while she was at it. There's a falcon. Get an up-close view of Josephine. We don't play with Josephine a lot so far. And then we also see her catching a moth. Now, Josephine's lifetime wish is to get to the top of all 3 social groups. And as a result, she's got a kiki ball in her inventory. Apart from helping her achieve her lifetime wish, the kiki ball gives her a relatively harmless idle activity, because this sim is well known for choosing inappropriate idle activities such as all-out brawls, rolling around on the ground, punching out other sims. She's hot-headed. So the kiki ball is good, at least where Josephine is concerned. And she seems to have learnt a few interesting tricks that she can perform with it. I'm not sure how high her skill level is because I've not really been watching her using it. This is actually the first time I've just sat there and watched her get active with the kiki ball. I sometimes see her off in the distance playing with it and try to divert her on doing something else, but this time she's just using her kiki ball. While Johanna has been playing with her kiki ball, Dianna has arrived at the market, and she is going to do some performing for tips. And I wanted to show this little bit because I saw her doing a trick that I haven't seen her do before. That one. So we'll leave her to perform here, but we'll watch her for a little bit first. I can see there's a sim swimming around in the swimming pool as usual. There's only one there though by the look of it. So that's it for Dianna today. Now we're going to move on to Craig. He has been searching for turquoise, and he's found all he needs to find, and he's going to report in. If you've been watching these videos and have seen all the recent ones, you'll remember that when they arrived in Egypt, Craig got an adventure off the adventure board, Business Abroad, where he was required to report in to Inji Amin. And she gave him an introductory test where he had to complete the Tomb of Discovery and return some papers to her that she was about to have deciphered. And in the meantime, he was given the Agent of Moku Corp adventure where he had to go and report into one of Inji Amin's underlings. And when her lackey, I think it was, they're called, she referred to as, and Dalida Barakat was the one he reported into, and she gave him the Gems of the Sands adventure, which he has now completed and is now currently reporting into Dalida Barakat with. The next adventure is going to be given to him by her, and it is local intel. Now, if you remember, I told you when Sam was demolishing all of those rubble piles, so it's good to keep one for photos, because the Sims get to take photos of rubble piles occasionally. Well, these are the rubble piles that I keep, the ones that are down here in the graveyard. I used to always demolish them and there was never anything under them, so now I leave them there. So when my Sims get the adventure to take a photo of a rubble pile, I send them to the graveyard and they go and get a photo there. Now he's off to do his local intel, and what the leader Barakat had said to him when he delivered the turquoise was, that turquoise will keep operations moving along nicely. Sending you to assist me is the best thing Morku Corp has done in weeks. I hope you stick around. I have some personal concerns about the reputation of Morku Corp, and I believe the local citizenry is growing hostile. I'd like you to get close to some of the other villages and see what they think about this corporation. And that's what he's doing now. He doesn't actually have to become friends. He's just got to introduce himself to the various sims. The market's a good place to go because you can always find these particular sims at the market. As each conversation goes on, they get to know each other better and they get closer and closer to being friends. So he's got to convince, or not convince, but he's got to talk to 3 locals about Morku Corp and then report back to the leader Barakat. And that's what he's doing now. And there's a bit of hearts there. I don't think Craig's got a romantic interest yet, but I doubt that we're going to pursue that one. Definite possibility though. I find that learning a song is often a good way to become friends with another sim or to improve your relationship with another sim. And it's also good to know the songs because teaching the song to a different sim will also improve your relationship with whoever you teach it to later on. So I usually try to get all of my sims to know all of the songs at the various worlds. If you see down the bottom of the screen there, you'll see his current progress. He's talking to her about Morku Corp now. And now it's 2 out of 3 that he's spoken to. So he's got 1 more to find and have it introduce himself to. So let's try the relic merchant maybe. I don't think he's met him yet. And of course I took too long to do that, and he's going to go for a swim. Thought I'd leave that in so you could see why he's suddenly and strangely in his swimwear. At least he got out quickly enough. Now he's got to go over there. I always get them, if possible, to give a friendly introduction or a charming introduction if they're able to do that, because it gives them charisma experience as well. So he's introduced himself, and I'll straight away see if he can complete ask about Morku Corp, and he can. So now he's spoken to 3 sims, got their feedback, and he's going to report in. So that means another trip back out to the cemetery, because I suspect that Dalida Rashid or Dalida Barakat is still out there. So off goes Sam. That graveyard is a long way away, and yet he gets there in an instant, and I haven't cut it out. It's just that it straight through a couple of taxis. That's a bit of excitement. I don't know why there's so many taxis in this world. Maybe they have a lot of yellow taxis in Egypt in real life. I don't know. I suppose they would have to. I'd like to see camels wandering around myself, but I've never actually visited Egypt, so I don't know what they have there. So there he is. And now she's going to give him another adventure, which we will just begin, and then it'll be the end of the video. Although there is quite a way to go yet. Into the fire. Yes, we're about halfway into the video at the moment. Into the fire. Dalida Barakat gives this opportunity to Craig after he delivers the local intel that he's collected around town. Now, local intel is on what the locals think of Morku Corp. And Dalida thinks that they don't like Morku Corp very much, and she could be right. So into the fire. Ah, it is as I feared, but perhaps this will present an opportunity. Anyway, the documents have been deciphered, and it's time to send you into the fire. Unfortunately for you, that is not a euphemism. Morku Corp is interested in a strain of flame fruits that grow in the tomb of the burning sands. I believe they plan to use it to develop some kind of post-atomic propulsion drive. Use this key to enter the tomb and gather some of these fruits. It's bound to be hot in there, so you might want to bring shower in a can. Craig travels through the village and along the road, and then has to run the last little bit to the tomb of the burning sands. And as he gets around the corner, he can notice that there are Sims waiting at the door. Now this happens quite a lot. They can't get in until one of your Sims has actually opened the tomb. Sometimes you get whole families hanging around there. Sometimes you don't get anyone there at all. It's great. So here we have an explorer and a paparazzi waiting for Craig to open the tomb so they can get in. Now this is the smaller pyramid. It's one of the three that are together in the group, and it's the one they come to first as they ride or walk away from the village. So you can immediately see where to put the key because the sparkly lines are sparkling out of the keyhole. And I'll get Craig to put the key into that keyhole immediately. And that will unlock the door that you can almost see just behind that non-pushable statue. Now, instead of proceeding into the adventure, into the fire adventure, I chose to leave that for the moment. And there is another tomb in this pyramid, which is not a part of any particular adventure. And for some reason I decided that Craig could do that first while he was here. That involves a few things that he's going to do and will take up the rest of the video. He's just found a floor switch under that pile of rubble, and now he's going to investigate the sarcophagus. He's obviously found a few things in there. I'm always looking for treasure. The treasures I'm really after at the moment are more in the line of the tomb collections and the various object collections. I don't know what he found in there that time. It wouldn't have been a part of the tomb collection. But you get a collection of vases or collections of canopic jars and collections of all sorts of things that you find when you're looking for relics or treasure. Now there's two pushable statues in this room. There's the one that he's moving at the moment, and then there's the one that's closest to us on the screen. And I have spent quite some time pushing that one around in this room, and I've never found that it does anything useful other than waste time. So I haven't got him to touch it in this particular video. Be interested to hear from anyone who has discovered a use for it. I choose to use this particular statue to put on this floor switch because it's the one that's closest to the floor switch. So that has opened that hidden door. Craig could have found that hidden door by searching for it, but he couldn't have opened it. It's one of those hidden doors that can't be opened by a sim trying to open it. It has to be opened by triggering something else. In this case, it was the pushable statue going onto the floor switch. So he's got a vase out of that treasure chest, which made him quite happy by the sound of it. There's more to be done up in this room though. There's another rubble pile to clear, a hole in the wall, and another sarcophagus he can search. Just speed that rubble pile up a bit. Now we better check out that hole in the wall. See what's in it. Found, or triggered something. Switch. What's he found? It's good, whatever it is. Now we can go and search that sarcophagus. That shouldn't take too long. Then we can find out whatever that thing was that he discovered when he flicked that switch in the hole in the wall. So he's got a crescent keystone out of that sarcophagus. He'll need that. Undoubtedly there will be a place to put it shortly, and if he doesn't have one, he'll be in trouble. He'd have to come back here and search everything to see if he could find one. So it was a set of steps that he discovered when he flicked that switch. And another crescent keystone. He's got 2 in his inventory now. We can use one of them in that door. The one he got out of the sarcophagus might be a spare that will come in handy at some point. So if any of my Sims need a crescent keystone, I'll be able to use the one that Craig's got extra, if that's what it is. Now he stops where he is at the moment because there is a fire trap in front of him, and there is another way around it. You can either disarm the fire trap there, or you can use Pangu's axe, which I've just transferred across to him from Muriel, and he can go and get that treasure. It doesn't matter if you don't have Pangu's axe when you do this tomb, because all you're missing out on is a bit of treasure out of that treasure chest. Because the thing you need to do to avoid that fire trap on the floor is to dive into this dive well, which is what he's about to do. So Craig's down the bottom of the dive well, looking for a switch, which I hope he finds fairly quickly. He's found the switch, and he's popped up out of the dive well, and a door has opened. The only thing, of course, now is we need to remember next time you bring a sim in. Oh, he's clearing the water out of his ears. The next time we bring a sim in here, we have to make sure they don't run across that floor trap, which is still there and active. Must have got a lot of water in his ears that time. So now we've come to a hallway with 6 treasure chests that he can raid. Some things have got little things in, and some of them have got big things in. I think there is a sigil for this tomb in one of these chests, so it's worth doing them if you're after the tomb collection, because he's going to find one in one of these treasure chests. A jewel. Is that a nervous laugh he's doing? I see a sarcophagus at the end of the hallway. You might find some interesting things in it as well. So he's found the Egyptian symbol of the Tomb of the Rock and released a mummy of King Ramundo Rodlekeke, and he's also opened another hidden door, which we can't see because it is at this end of the hallway. Now he can escape quite easily by running past the mummy and out the hidden door, because the mummy hasn't noticed him yet. He doesn't have to be doing that, searching through the sarcophagus, and I don't think he's even going to find anything in that sarcophagus, so it's a bit pointless. But he's stuck there now. I think the mummy's noticed him. And Craig doesn't have much martial arts skill, I don't think. Haven't checked. Have to see. Oops, there's a mummy fight with Craig. So Craig's been cursed by a mummy. Now, I was going to show this in the next episode, the cursed by the mummy bit, because I've had to join together, as you might have noticed, 2 different accounts, because this is the original video where he really did get cursed by the mummy. So that's the end. Happy simming. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next episode. So thank you for watching, and bye bye for now.